I found something really interesting from a mom who posted somewhere that she is trying to navigate how to do the online thing, and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to do it. This mom asks, what do you do to protect your kids online? She says, I'm getting so frustrated with technology. It's a constant fight. It's been going on for 10 years, but it's getting worse. If we take the phone away, the kids steal them or convince their siblings to use their device to get online. Then you have different issues where you're like, okay, these kids, they can't play video games.
Yeah.
They can't have a phone.
Yeah.
But their friend has video games. Oh, but their friends have phones. And they're around them all day at school.
Right.
And so then you just sit and then there they go.
Yeah.
On the phone that you tried so hard to protect them from, on the video games that you put your hard no on, nothing. You can't. You can't keep it out. Yeah. You can't. I've come to the conclusion that every other family can be divided into two groups. One, they don't have a clue what their kids are doing online, so they sleep soundly, believing their kids are saints. Or two, they just don't care. And so I get what this mom is saying when she's like, well, either they think that their kids are so perfect and it's happening right under their noses.
Just ignoring it.
Or they just don't care, because it starts to feel that way as a parent, because you're like, what do I even do?
Yeah.
What do I even do? But as I was reading through the responses on this thread that this mom asked it, there was another mom who came back with some awesome advice. And even I was like, oh my goodness, finally something that somebody's helping us.
Help us.
Parents to know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read you that, because this is good stuff. And if you're looking for ways to help your kids, we have some answers, at least something to go from. So this mom says that she does include the internet, online things in her house. And she has from quite a young age with her kids. She supervised the kids very, very closely in the beginning and gradually started to ease up as they got older. Now her kids are 16 and 18. She doesn't have to keep tabs on their social media use anymore, which to me, I'm like, that's mind blowing, because I feel like that's when it gets rough.
Right.
Is it 16 to 18? But at 13, they just don't know enough yet.
Yeah.
So unless you have a really, really smart 13-year-old that's going to go around all the blocks and everything, I feel like that doesn't quite happen until around 15, 16. Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong. My 10-year-old even can, I'm
starting to figure it out.
Not trying to figure out the blocks, but if I have I need help on my phone, they know everything. These kids I'm noticing younger and younger age, they know way more about everything. There's sites I didn't even know about
that existed.
Yeah, and there's messaging going on Pinterest, y'all. Pinterest.
I didn't know that.
There's messaging on Pinterest. You can access TikTok from Pinterest. I'm telling you, these. Oh. I thought Pinterest was a safe site for even my little girls to find cute clothes and all the cute things that they like. It's just fun with their friends. They have their boards and stuff. No. Okay.
But even still, so 16 and 18, she doesn't have to monitor anymore. Obviously, this is ideal.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all love to be able to be oh no, go for it.
Yeah.
And just open gates at 16 and 18.
Yeah.
But she does say, however, when they were younger, we kept the computer in the main part of the house so that they were never entirely alone on the computer. I taught them basic netiquette, which is the etiquette on the web, if you didn't know, because I didn't. I taught them to identify problem behavior and what to do about it, and she taught them how to guard their personal information. Once, when her son was about 7, he decided to search bikini bottom. Which, I found this funny because the first thing that came into my mind was SpongeBob.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But of course, that's not what Google pulls up.
Yeah.
So, of course, he gets actual bikini bottoms on butts instead of SpongeBob. Immediately, he turns off the screen and came and got Mom. Wow. And his eyes are as wide as saucers. She told him he did a good job and not to worry. And she tells... I think we're good on that.
I'm reading it.
But she's basically saying, like, trust me, you're not going to go blind because you saw this. In general, though, her kids don't get in any trouble online. They got them their own laptops in grades 6 and 7. We've never used any child locks or anything like that. Never saw the need. So here's what I think is the difference for this mom. Because the first mom says either you think your children are saints, and it's happening right under your nose, or you just don't care. I think there's a third option.
What is it?
Teach them.
Right.
When they're young. She started with them really, really young to teach them how to manage things on the computer, what you can use the computer for, how to use the computer, things that you can and can't do, ways that you can and can't access things. And even like this with this example with the bikini bottom. If she didn't sit down and teach her kids what could happen and all the things, would he have come and got her?
Yeah.
Or would that be the start of
the secretiveness?
Yeah. And then lead to an insane addiction because he was so young. Because I know that that's happened with a lot of children because they get exposed to something like that, but they don't ever go and tell.
Yeah.
Even when it's shocking, because it's always shocking at the first and for young kids. It does shock them. But if they don't have somewhere that they can go, or if they feel like the place that they are supposed to go, they're just going to get in trouble.
Then they start hiding. Yeah.
They start hiding, and it starts to lead to some serious, serious issues. And once you have those serious issues, that's when parents are like, I don't know what to do.
Right. It's overwhelming.
We're stuck. We're caught in the loop.
Right.
And we're toast, basically.
Yeah.
Like, how do you come out of this? Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, so as parents, I feel like we need to familiarize ourselves with online.
Yes. Yep.
And all the games and, like you were saying, Pinterest that you can message on, which I had no idea.
Who knew? Who knew?
And like go through these things and know what it is, know all the parts and pieces, and not try to hide it from the kids.
I feel like even though if you try to know it, so like I have Instagram and I feel like I have never ran into trouble besides like you see like girls in bikinis everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But I have never ran in like just had things pop up or never seen the harm. I've never seen it on there. I do feel like when kids have access to that, they are targeted. I feel like there's no way for us to, unless we get onto their accounts, like you would never know.
Right.
I really don't think that we can learn it without being in their shoes.
Right.
So like,
but then, yes, exactly. So be in their shoes, but then also make sure that there is a relationship between you and your kids.
Yeah.
Because if they come across something that is scary or that they have questions or something like that, who's going to help them?
Yeah.
They're going to have to try to figure it out on their own.
Or go to their friends or like not the best sources sometimes.
Exactly.
So...
And then that's when you get into trouble. And you think that you have this good relationship with your kids, but if you're not involved in their lives and like you were saying, get in their shoes, get on the app with them.
Absolutely.
Get in their account with them. Not in I'm going to try to check and see what you're doing. What are you spending your time? Because then they feel like you're accusing them.
And they get really good at hiding things too.
And then they start to get defensive. Yeah. And then they're like, she's looking for something.
Yeah.
Oh, then maybe I should start hiding things.
Right.
And then they get good at that.
Yeah.
But if you don't come at it like that, if you're more like, hey, let's
talk about
chill.
This. Yeah.
Let's hang out. Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
And when you see things like that, they're messaging people, then you can talk to them.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have already talked to them before.
Yeah.
But if they start to message them, talk to them, tell them what can happen. If they're young enough or if they're smart enough to go around all the blocks, if they can do all this stuff, then they're old enough to be able to know what is on there.
Yeah.
The predators, the scary things that can happen, the dangers.